With Phase 4 launching this week, every Warrior, Paladin and Death Knight probably have their eyes set on a certain specific shiny legendary. Yep, that legendary is Shadowmourne. There's no denying it, Shadowmourne is an absolute beast, and it's going to be a game changer in terms of output for our plate-wearing friends. Blizzard have been ever so kind to speed up the process of getting Shadowmourne in a couple of different ways. Firstly, you don't need the quest to acquire the shards to actually start collecting them, so if you weren't already aware, the step in the quest chain to start acquiring the shards isn't until right at the very end. So you'd need to get friendly, get 25 primordial saranites, get some bloods, absorb 1,000 souls, do all of the infusion quests, which are an absolute pain because the likelihood is you'll have to do these on normal to make it easier, and then that's when you start collecting the shards. So with that big old list of tasks, you can guess it's going to reduce the amount of weeks it's going to take considerably. While you still need to do all of those steps to get Shadowmourne, the fact that the shards drop right off the bat and both normal and heroic have the same drop chance is easily reducing the time to get Shadowmourne by, I'd say, a bare minimum of 8 to 10 weeks. Please note, I said minimum. It could easily reduce it by 15, 16 weeks if you've got very, very bad RNG. The other good thing about the shards is the big M-Wing bosses all have a 100% chance of dropping them as well. So this will include Sarfang, Putricide, Sindragosa, Blood Queen Lanafel, and of course the Lich King himself. But all of those changes for Shadowmourne make a big difference. I mean, I honestly can see the first ones being made in 6 to 7 weeks with some good luck. All of that's great, and every man and their dog is talking about getting Shadowmourne and how amazing it is, but I've not seen anyone really talking about the extra rewards. The rewards that actually stay relevant for far, far longer than your Shadowmourne will. Once you think you've completed the quest chain because you're rewarded with the big boy weapon, you may be surprised to get a new quest. You'd have been working your way through all of the other quests. Finally, you get to the point of handing in your Shadow's Edge to get your big boy Shadowmourne. You'll then get a follow-up after all of that called the Lich King's Last Stand. Using your brand new weapon, you need to kill the Lich King. So get it equipped and get ready to slap. Now, the reason this quest is extremely relevant is because when you've got your Shadowmourne, you kill the Lich King, as long as you've got this quest in your log, the boss will drop an extra item. And that extra item is this. It's a sealed chest, and it starts a quest. Only the person with Shadowmourne can get the quest, and you need to go and take it back to Darian Mograine. Now, it's at this point you're going to get some real spicy loot, and I remember back in the day, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly the same now, but we would distribute these extremely rare items. And I say extremely rare, they were extremely rare in original Wrath. They could end up looking like Mim's head by the end of Wrath, where everyone can get them because there's just going to be that many Shadowmournes, and there's going to be so many of these on the auction house from GDKPs and all that sort of thing. But ordinarily, guilds will decide which people are getting which item. What items am I talking about? So when you hand in the sealed chest, you're then going to get an unsealed chest. And when you open this up, it's got 5 different items in. All 5 of these items just need handing in to the appropriate people. So if you speak to Darian Mograine again, you'll be able to reunite him with Alexandros' Soul Shard. In return for this, you're going to get Reigns of the Crimson Death Charger. Now, this mount looks extremely similar to a Death Knight mount, but just a reskin. So I've got to be honest, as a Rep Paladin or a Warrior, using Shadowmourne and getting this mount would be pretty hot. But all you need to do is just hand that in and complete the quest, and then you'll have the mount. And I'll show you what that mount looks like in just a second. Now, you shouldn't actually be able to see these NPCs until the Lich King's been killed, but once he has been killed, they'll all appear at the entrance. When you hand into Sylvanas, the blood of Sylvanas, you're going to get a cool little music box, which is just a toy, which is actually going to be especially good now that we've got account-wide toys as well, which before you would have just had this on one character. Now, once you get this, you're going to have it on them all. Particularly good if you're a collector. When you use this item, you just get a nice little song being played and a couple of little ghosts come out and start singing to you. It's pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing. When you speak to Uther and hand in the badge of the Silver Hand, you're going to get the tabard of the Lightbringer. This tabard will be probably a bit of a favourite among people because on a 30-minute cooldown, you can do a cool little effect when you click on the tabard that just makes you glow. This glow effect does last for 5 minutes, and it's really more of a flex that you've got the item and you've killed the Lich King and all of that stuff than anything else. It don't give a buff or, you know, there's no use to it outside of purely cosmetic. But I've got to be honest, with wings up and the tabard going at the same time, it is a pretty cool cosmetic on a paladin. Give it to a paladin. When you hand in to Muradin and you give him Arthas's training sword, you're going to get Muradin's Favour, which again is just a little toy. And when you actually use this toy, it turns you into a dwarf. Again, purely cosmetic. It doesn't give you any bonuses whatsoever. It is purely just something visual to look at that's pretty cool, to be fair. The effect does last 10 minutes, and the item itself has got a 30-minute cooldown. And then finally, and my favourite one, Jaina. When you hand in Jaina's locket, you're going to get a portal to Dalaran. And when you use this, it creates a portal teleporting group members that use it to Dalaran. It's got a 1 hour cooldown, but when you think about all these items and how useful any of them are, that portal to Dalaran, it's not a teleport, it's not just for you, it's for everyone. I mean, that is really, really good. We might as well pop that portal up now, and I'll finally show you what the mount looks like. A paladin with a portal. No mage is getting a spot in our raid. Joke. So the final item that you hadn't seen was the Crimson Death Charger, and this is what the mount looks like. As I said, it is very Death Knight-esque. It has got a slight different skin to it, but I think ultimately, if you was a Death Knight and you've just completed Shadowmourne, taking this mount, unless you're really into mount achievements and stuff, probably pretty pointless. Give it to someone else and be nice, someone who's helped you get this Shadowmourne quest done. So I think when I said earlier these stay more relevant and longer than Shadowmourne, I think you can now see why. Sure, Shadowmourne's great, but ultimately when we're all in Cataclysm, the weapon will quickly be replaced. Having a portal to Dalaran or even the tabard with a shiny use effect to show off will last a long time. Well, until you quit, really, or Blizzard decide to call it a day at BFA Classic. Out of all of the items, the portal to Dalaran is the one that I personally look forward to getting the most, purely because it gives more options for travel and getting around, and that's always going to be useful. But as a paladin using the DK looking mount, I could see that being pretty cool as well. Remember though, all of these are BOE, so not only can they be traded among your guild, they can also be bought and sold on the auction house, and with how rife GDKPs are nowadays, I could really see the first GDKP Shadowmourne owners selling it all, or at least some of these on the auction house, to claw back some of the gold that they spent on the shards. In fact, it's an interesting thought on how much exactly they're going to make back from getting Shadowmourne by selling all of these items and being one of the first to sell them all, because with how gold is, nowadays in Classic, I could easily see, the mounts or even the teleport going for, I don't know, 50, 60k? I think the teleport to Dalaran especially. The only side note to all of this I will say is remember that it's only the person that completes Shadowmourne and has that quest, that last quest after making Shadowmourne, that can get these items. So for God's sake, make sure it's going to someone you trust or you know, because, yeah, it'd be a bit awkward if they just go, nope, sorry, yoink, this is all mine now. But that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Genuinely, to all of you, good luck in ICC, because odds are I recorded this video before Phase 4 actually even came out, so you're going to likely see it maybe when you're spamming gammas at the first couple of days of Phase 4, or maybe even when ICC's out itself. Either way, please enjoy it. Good luck. Hope you smash the Lich King, and I'll see you on the next one.